ViBE. And he's, of course, facing off against his opponent towards the left side of the map in the blue, representing No Dice Gaming. It is Cham. So, once again, Game 3 underway. A lot of full best of threes, and a lot of ZVZ best of threes as well, which is very odd because usually I see a lot of 2-0s. Usually one player is a lot more dominant than the other. These players are showing that they're both even in some ways in form. Some kind, again, like Mutas and Lairtech, I would probably give it to ViBE, but you know, Roach Hydra, give it a Cham. You know, played it really well, controlled it really well. Looks like he understood it fairly well. The one thing that ViBE tried to do in his first game and even a little bit in the second game, is try to send those burrowed roach attacks. And in a concept that's very smart, but unless you're sending a good force over, it's hard to pull it off. And also without an econ to back you up, if you send those roaches and your main army fights, they lose. It's going to be very hard for you to remax everything that you already had, and plus you're going to be almost capped in a sense because of the roaches that are on the other side of the map. That's kind of neither here nor there. We do see 15 hatch getting dropped down from ViBE. This is probably the first time I've seen it in a while. Usually 14 hatches or 15 hatches, so it's nothing really too much out of the ordinary. But, yeah. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice over here, expansion getting thrown down by Cham. It feels kind of late, but it's not. I don't know why. That's what happens when you get a little bit tired. You start losing track of time. It's a little bit tough on you. Oops. Very sensitive mouse, man. Very sensitive mouse. Jiggling all over the place. Well, we have gas getting taken for ViBE right now. This first one. Pull about to finish up as well. I'm telling you, I'm actually really shocked and surprised that we have yet to see a game where we have very heavy early onset aggression. Usually everything that we've seen today has been very 2-base oriented, 3-base oriented. Nothing 1-base, and I like seeing 1-base drag. I really, really do. It's quick, it's fast paced, it's very entertaining to watch. Really requires a lot of micro typically. So if you're not good with lings or queens, you might want to think about switching a race, you know. Early aggression's always going to come at you. Sometimes you're only going to meet those macro players. I mean, not once in a while, but never mind. We'll see. It's tough to predict, and it's tough to analyze a pro levels play, or how he's thinking, or what he's really comfortable with. It's kind of what I'm sitting there in mind at this point. my Russian chat's trying to like cheer me on. We're on SC2DV.ru. Hold it together, hold it together. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. I'm really trying. No, I mean, at the same time, like right now as I'm sitting here, if I'm able to get a second win of some sort, it's going to be really nice. Like, I'll continue if I get a second win, but just, I mean, up already for over 19 hours, so I'm kind of like getting to that point where I'm like, yeah, you know what, sleep doesn't sound too bad. I'm not really trying to do like a 24-hour marathon today of just broadcasting StarCraft 2. I'm passionate, but I'm not that passionate. That and it's summertime, like I need a little bit of sleep, you know? Fall time you don't get as much, neither do you in the spring. Alright, finally, ViBE's got a speed going after his Spire gets started. Oh, that dude sometimes asks for trouble. Wouldn't be actually too surprised to see a third hatch get placed down fairly soon as well. We do still have Lings scouting around right now, realizing that his opponent hasn't grabbed a third base either. That standard wall off from Cham coming up right there with that Roach Evo. Lair just about done for his opponent, but Cham is, I don't know, he might get taken by a little bit of shock right now. As the Spire finishes up, we're going to have a huge influx of mutas. What does he have to deal with them and against them? Absolutely nothing aside to queens. And 4 queens, God almighty, great and all, but queens are not going to be able to withstand. First 7 mutas are underway. Observer's like, we're under attack. I didn't sign up for this. Get me out of here. Well, for Cham, the whole family's coming out right now off of this 2-base. And even if he takes third base now, he's not too late, but in comparison to what his opponents did, I would say definitely for sure. Oh, check this out. ViBE managing to somehow to sneak his way through the wall of everything that was there, and now a lot of damage is getting done. We have Lings and Mutas all running inside the main base. They already were able to conquer and vanquish that natural, and now really, yeah, there you go. The best thing you could do is just mineral walk, unfortunately for them. Well, for the most part, not too bad of a hold. Meanwhile, over here, we do have a little bit of roach action happening inside the natural of our Colorado Zerg ViBE. Meanwhile, we do have mutas trying to clear up this mess right here, and 2 more mutas are underway. It is very risky, I will admit. There's some benefits of having a very large muta pack, and then in terms of that, you can of course just fight these queens endlessly and do a lot more damage, but there's also some negatives that you have to think about, and you lose a lot of supply trying to fight them. Sometimes the fight doesn't exactly go your way or how you anticipated it, just due to the numbers. Yeah. Meanwhile, main base right now getting shredded down into strips. Workers getting chased down for the most part. Good play right here. I like this from Cham, starting to split up his roaches. The mutas definitely want to be in one big flock and to deal with these and chase down these roaches. So while these ones attack the main and the natural, this is going to be a good distraction for them. And just look at that. I mean, workers, where are they? I mean, he's gotten everything pulled off. He's either pulled them off or killed everything. And the best part about this is neither player has actual workers to really speak of. 16 to 18 minor favor to ViBE. And when you look at it with supplies this low, you really want to have the most efficient units out on the field. And I think at this point, those most efficient units are going to be mutas, along with an overseer as well, just in case these roaches can burrow. And here he comes over to the third base, going to try to pick off a few more workers, slowly trickling some more roaches in through here, and canceling those gases, saving as many of the workers as he possibly can. ViBE falling down to 9 total. And this is just crazy numbers right now happening in this game 3. Try to follow the mutas, see where their flight path is going to land them. Coming over here to this base right now, and oh, check this out. ViBE, instead of worrying about the spore bazooka crawlers, he actually just goes on ahead and focuses down a majority of those workers. Cham falls down to just minimal supply, down to 17 and 7 workers now. ViBE, he might want to be a little bit cautious here with these mutas and, you know, just kind of save a few of them just in case. Does he still have that Spire actually alive? He does indeed, so if you can clear this one roach out of the way, if you can somehow continue Spire production, this is going to be great for him. The problem is just neither player really has much of an econ to speak of. ViBE fortunately has 16 workers, and if he can keep a majority of them alive, it's going to work out a lot better for him than he thinks. So here we go, some Lings joining in the fray. That roach goes down. Are any roaches in the middle of the map alive still? And it looks like no. The answer to that question is no, and all the units, all the supply right here is within these 2 bases for Cham. He's got 14 drones and 19 drones, 12 Lings, and 5 mutas. Now, I'm not a mathematician, not a rocket scientist, nor am I a rocket, but you know, when I do the math, gotta give it to ViBE right here. As long as he micros carefully and doesn't send all these mutas through the bazooka crawlers to knock him down, he should be okay. Well, because Queens have nothing better to waste their energy on right now. They have enough to be able to transfuse an Overlord. And I almost feel like the game, in a sense, is restarting again. Yeah, welcome into WCS America, guys. At the 16-minute mark, just so much chaos, so much trade, so much random action happening that even at times it's hard to follow, but ViBE really getting the better end of it here. Lings slowly starting to eat their way through creep. Third base getting saturated once again. 40 workers up to 42 actually versus the 32. We do have Cham, sorry. We have Cham desperately trying to get minerals out. He actually has a little bit more gas than I think he's willing to spend at this point. Just needs a lot more minerals. I'm gonna be like partially upset if these guys just let the game go. If these guys just let the game go as it is, just keep it neutral, just both take their time, let each other remax, and then try to fight it out. I'm like, no, that's not how StarCraft works. Just, you know, practice and poke and don't get caught by the enemy. Really. Bazooka crawler waiting for these girls. And the mutas, are they going to be able to make it? No. Well, the game has come to a little bit of a halt as we take a look at the units tab. Both players up to a good, healthy worker count. For ViBE, the answer right now probably would be just to mass into units and go for an attack right now, because really the wall doesn't have anything there to defend it anyways, and I think he realizes that. Well, at least he, fortunately he was able to clear out a lot of the creep right now that was out on the map, so all that additional vision and all that additional preparation that, Cham might have had in terms of mutas or anything else that came to him, it is going to be absolutely gone. More and more workers getting added into the mix for ViBE. Grabbing his number 5 and 6 gas is. I'm like almost in an utter shock that, ViBE just didn't try to mass roaches within these past like 3 minutes as quick as he possibly could, and from there just absolutely berate and kill his opponent. Instead he's kind of toying around with him, I feel like, or at least he wants to stay passive and win through a much deeper macro game. Not sure if it's worth it. Gotta be careful, man. With late game Zergs, they're not a pushover race. They're absolutely not a pushover race. Take a look at the natural. With detection, that unfortunate infestor does die. And there we go, that's what I was talking about, getting the roaches out. But hold your horses. Cham wants to make this game go longer. Cham does not love the viewer. Cham is about himself. ViBE with a couple of his own swarm hosts over here poking away at some of the I was about to say, not the roach. Well, was gonna try to poke at some of the roaches, but the queens, I guess, were ahead of him right there. Okay. So, queens starting to walk their way up to the third base. Are they going to be able to defend this hatchery? No, they're not. Of course, transfuses don't work with building actual buildings, with the ones that are work in progress. And now these locusts just doing a lot of work on these queens, forcing a transfuse out. I mean, if any closer, any better of a location, they might have been able to do some much more significant damage. But this is really good because now he's forcing a lot of the energy out of these queens. This is exactly what he needs. And he's just going to go for it right now. He's going to go for it. He's going to try to fight this out. He's going to try to break this through. There are not a lot of roaches left. Queens trying to help out as best they can with the transfuses. Mutas need to come over here and help out as well. Forget about this base over here. Do not worry about these roaches. Just keep on fighting through. There's an overseer waiting for him, and if he sticks around a little bit too long, he could find himself in a little bit of trouble. And now he has to back up, and you could thank those mutas. Those mutas could have been a big help over here trying to break through this little nice wall of swarm hosts and everything else that you could find. "25-minute game is upon us. Still no third base for Cham all this time. 24 minutes, no third. If I take a look at the resources, really almost none left inside the natural, and I think similar story within the main. Actually, the most ironic part of this is the fact that it looks like there's more resources within the main than there is within the natural. How can that happen? Well, here comes another mutaflock. Can't get really much done. Roaches come up, start hacking away at the hatchery. Transfuses absolutely getting dished out, but way too much damage here output from these roaches. Able to snipe the hatch down, and once again, Cham down to 2 bases. Really not much he could do. He needs to automatically retake the third base if he wants to rebuild or have some sort of an economy going. There he goes. And the best part about this, if these roaches actually burrow and just regain health, they could do the exact damn same thing and walk away once again with their health held proud and high. ViBE securing a 4th hatch of his own, grabbing his 7th and 8th gas. Ugh. Some are probably wondering, Cheesehead, you're probably so excited right now. It's so cool getting to cast ViBE and Cham and all these guys and Nade and Balloon. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome, but I'm like really tired too at the same time. Muta's continuing to poke away little by little. Stormhost for now will push all of these units back over to the middle of the field, and This is something we actually saw earlier from today. If you guys remember watching, was it Demaga? Oh, my memory is not serving me well. No, it was Bly. It was Bly. It was Bly. He did this absolutely something very similar to Bly. Bly, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Found himself in a scenario where he just goes up to quicker Hive, gets a greater Spire and Broodlords because his opponent was so focused on ground units and stuff like Swarm Host, where it never really gave him a true chance to create a proper composition to transition against us and everything else. Here come the Broodlords, here come the Mutas in the back as well, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. All the Ruckus and all the units are here. 4-Cham are getting absolutely annihilated, little by little, moving on through Swarm Host by Swarm Host. Do you believe? I believe. Do you yeah, I believe. I believe that ViBE will win. Cham falls down in supply to 92, 91. Meanwhile, over here at the National, Mutas continuing to fight away as the best they possibly can. They're actually forced to kind of run away. Not really, though. And GG finally called. My goodness, what a game. What a long, long game. Well, that of course does it for ViBE. He moves on with a score of 2-1 out of his series.